All right, guys, 12:30. We got the biggest number of guitarists ever so far. Very exciting. So we're going to play 3 songs today since I think most of you are familiar generally with the program. We won't dwell overly on the basics, but I do feel obligated to cover those basics just a little bit. And so just know that if you're bored, that's a good sign that you've got that really solid. If you're struggling, that's also normal and very expected when you're doing this type of music. And again, it doesn't matter whether you can do it. Doesn't really matter if you can do this stuff well when you're doing it live or right at the moment. What matters is if you take time to go back after we're done and spend a little bit of time on it. So hopefully I just give you the big picture, the idea of what we're working on, and then you go spend some quality time with yourself. Alan, delighted you are here. I know, right? It's kind of weird to have you in guitar, but I'm glad you're here. All right, let's talk about the first. We're going to cover 3 songs: level 1, then level 2, then level 3. And if you are like, yep, totally got everything that's going on there, things are going great, come down to the store and get level 4. Don't come down to the store. What am I talking about? Send me an email. We'll find you a way to get a level 4 book. Levels 1, 2, and 3 are really instructional levels, but level 3 has real legitimate music. I'd say in each level, I tried to pick the best songs I could find for each of those levels. And some of it should be good for you to go back and just study as an instrumental type, making sure your skill set is solid. And some of it should be actually good music that you can learn how to play. All right, this is the second lesson in book 1. It's called Frère, Jacques. Hopefully you went to denverguitarorchestra.com, downloaded all 3 of the resources you'll need for today's lesson. We'll start at level 1, then we'll move to level 2, and for those of you who are all that, we'll knock out level 3. Frère, Jacques in level 2, the biggest thing we'll work on is switching from playing frets up and down the neck to playing frets, generally speaking, in first position. So they're going to be staying right around this neighborhood instead of in the first lesson I have you run all up and down the neck, getting comfortable with where your fret numbers are. On Frère, Jacques, the first thing that we want to do is double check that we can play the melody. Okay, and for you guys that are comfy with reading tablature, this is not a hard challenge. For those of you who are newer, it's a very hard challenge. We're going to go into guitar melody line. Prior to getting going as a new player, the thing that I think is important is for you to be mindful how you're holding your instrument. I'm holding this in classical style, and if I stood up, I would also be in rock and roll style, which would have a strap around my neck, and this guitar would be hanging there just exactly like a rock and roll person would carry it. Sometimes you're going to see a lot. All classical guitar players play it within this system, probably even a little bit higher up. You're going to see that. If you come from a folk music background or a cowboy background, you're going to have a tendency to hold your guitar like this. You can do that. It just makes your life harder. So it's just quite really that simple. If you want to make guitar ever more challenging, just don't have great posture, and you'll meet your own request. For me, I think having a nice straight spine, keeping my butt on the edge of the chair, keeping the guitar at about 50-60 degree angle, up against my body, foot on a footstool. This seems to be the least amount of tension and the least amount of stress that I can put on my body. I'm also very mindful that I don't want to be playing like this. Probably during this lesson, you'll see me that my shoulders slowly going up as I get stressed out about all the mistakes I'm making. But basically, you want to keep that tension very low. Your right arm should just be very comfortable here. And, you'll see guys that own $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 guitars. They'll put a piece of cloth or something over that so their arm isn't resting on the guitar, or they'll make sure to have a full sleeve on. My guitar is not that good. And then in terms of left arm stuff, just try to keep your wrist straight, right? If you end up like this, that's not good. You'll see as I'm playing that I have a tendency to pull out a little bit. That's not what we want at all. And I also think the most important thing you can talk yourself into is keeping the pad of your thumb up against the back of the neck and keeping that thumb following your middle finger, so that's what's going on all of the time. I think those are sort of the basic stuff to make playing easier for you. Guitar is going to be a lifelong struggle for you under the best of circumstances. We love the struggle. We love how hard it is. We love what this instrument can and can't do, and why make it harder on yourself? Just do what they've been teaching in classical guitar since day one of 500 of this stuff. It makes sense. It goes well. Welcome everybody who's joining a little bit late. Hopefully you've been able to download the resources from denverguitarorchestra.com, and they're all on the front page. We're going to now start with Frère Jacques. Beware, I have to sing a little bit in this class. I am absolutely not a singer, as you will find out immediately, but it does help when we're playing, and it's a unidirectional thing where I have to find out where we are. All right, yesterday we covered playing tablature this way. Today we'll cover tablature playing mostly in the 2nd fret. So to start with, let's, instead of going through the guitar melody line, which is how I normally start, let's go through by grabbing your A chord, and you should have ring finger on the 2nd string, middle finger on the 3rd string, and index finger on the 4th string. That's where they should be. What I want for you when you typically put a chord on is always lead with your index finger, and then the other 2 fingers will start to obey. So if you can get your index finger in the right location, then the rest of your fingers will obey. We're on A chord today. For this particular song, I'm going to sing, you're going to strum. When we talk about strumming, okay, I teach everybody when they're new, just straight thumb down, right? Beautiful. On the A chord, if you hit the top string, it's not the end of the world. We'd rather not. We'd rather just play 5 strings down. Sounds really beautiful. That's just a nice, pleasant place to play. If you want to jazz things up, just take your index finger, make sure the front of your fingernail is pointing down, and you go down. This is how Segovia used to strum, just straight down like that, down. And then you can also come back up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. Mine says E chord. You got, Bob, you're looking at Brother John. You need to look at Frère Jacques. That's the next one. So the piece of paper that you used yesterday is not the one we're working on today. It should say Brother John up. I'm sorry. The one from yesterday says Brother John on the top. Today it says Frère Jacques. That's the one. So go back and grab the one off the website this morning. Let me just make sure I didn't goof that up. Frère Jacques. Yeah, the one that's on the website right now is the one you want, Bob. Okay. Strum thumb down or index finger up and down. Some of you who own guitars own a thing called a pick. I'm perfectly fine with you throwing it away. You should be perfectly fine with throwing your pick away. It's for a different style of playing guitar. And fingerstyle, we have to use all 4 of these to make it work properly. So you might as well just get rid of your pick now. For some of you, that causes a bit of a panic-inducing state, because when you go to the counter at the guitar store, they have that little thing and there's picks in there, and you can take one, and it's awesome. It's one of the greatest things in music, but you really don't need picks in fingerstyle guitar. You're not going to be able to use them. It's simple as that. And same goes with capos. That's for singers. As guitarists, we don't need capos. We just learn to play the guitar. Okay. All right. I'm going to strum and sing. Just make sure that you are with me on this. When we get down to measure 8, notice there's a repeat at the end of measure 8, 2 heavy bars with 2 dots. It's going to be so picky. Sorry, Alan, that's what I'm due. And then when we go back to the top, we'll play it around. The second time you come through, you're going to skip measure 8 and play measures 9 and 10. That's what all that contraption is there above measure 8 and measure 9. It says first repeat and second repeat. I apologize in advance for my singing. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, sonnez Billy Martinez. Ding, ding, dong. Ding, ding, dong again. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John. Morning bells are ringing. Morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding, dong. Ding, ding, dong. Always let your guitar ring out at the end. Notice I'm still holding my chord. The guitar's still making noise. I want that to ring out at the end. If you get sick of your guitar ringing, just take the palm of your hand or the heel of your thumb and just slide it up from the bridge up, and don't just go slap to get it to stop. Slide that way. Okay, if we were teaching folk style guitar, that's exactly where we would finish, and we would send you on your way. And hope you have a good day. But we're teaching fingerstyle guitar here, so the next thing we have to get accomplished is to play through the tablature on the guitar melody line. With this one, typically we talk about positional playing when we're playing straight melody. If it's a 1, you play with your index finger. If it's a 2, you play with your middle finger. If it's a 3, you play with your ring finger. And if it's a 4, you play with your pinky. And that relationship stays the same all the way up the fretboard, so that you're always in the same finger arrangement. You just are playing either first position. In this case, I'll go down to 4th position, possibly. Sometimes you're down in 7th position. So that's positional playing. That's what we typically do when we're playing straight line melody, like the guitar melody line is asking you to do. So that's what I'd like to cover right now. And then I'll talk about how you can make that more efficient. Okay. But in this case, if it's a 2, you're going to hold down whatever string it says. And the first note is a 2 on the 3rd string, and then a 0 on the 2nd string, a 2 on the 2nd string, and then back to that 2 on the 3rd string. That's how we want to play this. Again, there's a more efficient way to do this, but I want to make sure that those who are newer to reading tablature understand positional playing. Okay, so we're going to play through 1 note at a time from the guitar melody line. Put your middle finger on the 2 of the 3rd string to get you started, and we're going to go nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, play. 2, oh, 2, 2, 2, oh, 2, 2, 2, 3, oh, 2, 3, oh, oh, 2, oh, 3, 2, 2, oh, 2, oh, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And then we would repeat this whole song. Okay. Let's play it one time. Let's play it a second time. Again, you may or may not be able to keep up with reading this, sight reading this, but at home, I want you to work on this. We're going to go through now and play it at full speed. Everything will stay the same, except when we get to measures 5 and 6, we have to play those at twice the speed we just played them. So when I'm learning a new song, I go through and I figure out what notes I'm going to have to play, and I play it absolutely that slow with no necessarily concern with the rhythm. And now I'm going to go back through and play it at with the measures 5 and 6 at proper speed. When you find out that you're going to have to play something twice as fast, it's usually a good idea to slow down the stuff prior to that, so you've got a shooting chance at getting the fast stuff at relative tempo. Okay, let's start again. Grab your 2 on the 3rd string, and then we're going to slow it down just a little bit so that we can make the fast part more likely to happen. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, oh, 2, 2, 2, oh, 2, 2, 2, 3, oh, 2, 3, oh, nice and fast. Oh, 2, oh, 3, 2, 2, oh, 2, oh, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, again, if that's going well for you, you're in great shape. If it's not going well for you, work on that. That's you now know something that you've got to be spending a little bit more time on. Next thing that I want to talk about is how to be more efficient with that, and then which leads into fingerstyle. Okay, so the more efficient way to think about this particular song is if I grab my A chord, I'm going to have almost all of those notes held down already, and I may have to adjust this A chord a little bit. I may have to move my ring finger up to get those threes, but for the most part, I'm already holding down everything that I need to do. What about my right hand, thumb or fingers? Bob, great question. And for everybody to think about, right now you're learning a song. I always when I'm learning a song, I am just going to use my thumb. That's all I'm going to do until I make sure that I am pretty clear what the paperwork is going to ask of me. Then I can always go back and talk about using some other fingers more effectively. I would say for newer players, just using your thumb to play melody is absolutely acceptable. As you get more advanced, you want to start switching to these two fingers as your main melody makers. Because it will get fat. You'll be able to play faster, but this is a project that takes a little bit longer. So I'd say once you feel comfortable playing the song, and then you feel like, yeah, it's going pretty well with my thumb, then I would start working on it with these fingers and finding out where your problems are going to be. Ultimately, we would like you to have most of the time be playing with this. Especially on more advanced music, you're going to really need to be in this basic position where your thumb is in charge of these three strings more or less, and then these three fingers are more or less in charge of those three strings. Again, those are not hard and fast rules. Those are just guidelines. And I'd say in the beginning, thumb. Later on, use your resources and use your fingers to better advantage. Okay. All right. On this song, I'd like you to start grabbing the A. We're still going to just play the melody line, but you'll notice how many of your notes are just being held down by holding the chord. Okay, again, I'm going to use my thumb on the right hand, and then I may have to make some modifications with my left hand as I go along. From the top, ready, play. 2, 0, 2, 2, 2, 0, 2, 2, 2. 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 0, 2, 0, 3, 2, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Let the guitar ring, don't let up on your chord. For me, just now I was noticing my ring finger got pretty busy. Probably if I were going to be playing this as a melody, I would probably start bringing in my pinky to take care of the threes so that I could leave my twos all right here. But I thought, well, I'll try to follow my own rule, and I was having my ring finger slide up there to the 3rd fret. It worked. It just felt like my ring finger was super busy at that point, and not ideal. And your hands will always end up getting busier and busier the more advanced music you are playing. All right, so the nice part about thinking about this, though, and playing the whole thing with this chord is now we're ready for the tough uke line or fingerstyle line or chord melody line. That's all the same stuff. What we're doing here is getting ready to combine the A chord with the melody and make your guitar really do its job. This is why I'm a terrible singer. I learned to play chord melody in order to give my guitar all the opportunity to do all of the work. All I have to do is make sure these fingers are right, and then I'm hitting the right strings on this side, and then nobody's got to listen to me sing, and it's really better for everybody. Okay? What we want to do here is, to start with, again, just use your thumb, slope going down. So the first one is 0, 2, 2 on that tough axe line. You're going to start with your thumb here, 0, 2, 2. You get that by holding the chord here. Next note's an open note on the 2nd string, and so I'm going to have to lift up my ring finger to play that note, and then I got to put it right back down because I'm going to play 4 strings, 0, 2, 2, 2. Okay, notice my thumb is resting on the string I'm not going to play. That's called a rest stroke. So when I come down, my thumb is going to rest there so that string doesn't accidentally go off. Okay, next note's a 2. I'm already holding it down, so I hit that 2. I'm sorry, it's that 2. All right, measure 2 is identical to measure 1, so let's play that together. Ready, go. Strum, oh, strum, 2. Okay, let's play measures 1 and 2 together. Ready, play. Strum, oh, strum, 2. Strum, oh, strum, 2. Okay. Next notes are going to be a strum. Then I'm going to use my pinky to grab the 3, and then I'm going to do a full strum. And the next 2 measures are the same. Play them with me. Ready, play. Strum, 3, strum, strum, 3, strum. Okay, that's beautiful. Let's put measures 1, 2, 3, and 4 together. From the top, 1, 2, ready, play. Strum, oh, strum, 2, strum, oh, strum, 2, strum, 3, strum, 3, strum. Okay, beautiful. Now, I just made a mistake. One of the things that I tried to talk myself into and I want you to do the same thing. If you make a mistake, it's already over. Don't try to go back and fix it. Don't even recognize that it existed. Just move on to the next thing, right? So I missed my 3 here. I got to keep moving forward, right? Because I'm playing in a group right now. It's a group of 1, but I'm assuming you're just busy playing right along with me. And when you're in group, nobody can stop and back up and let you fix it. That's a habit you'll get into at the house of going back and fixing your mistakes, or even recognizing that they exist. When you have a mistake, don't let your body react. Don't let your face react. Don't let your hands react. You just move on to the next note. Believe me, your audience will tolerate that way better than they will tolerate you going, ugh, and then backing up and fixing it, right? Don't be that person. Just let mistakes be mistakes. I know now I got to go back in practice and spend a little bit of time making sure that my pinky gets where it needs to be so I don't make that mistake again. Okay. All right. Measure 5 and 6. We'll play them slow, then we'll play them fast, then we'll combine everything. By the way, I just gave a ukulele lesson and my phone's going crazy. So I'm sorry if you're hearing that beeping, but I don't know. That's what I do. All right. Let's go to measures 5, and we're going to do a strum. Hold your A chord, do a full strum. Now you got to get this 2, so I'm going to drop my ring finger to get that 2. Then I'm going to get it out of the way. I'm going to use my pinky on the 3. Then I'm going to reassemble my A chord, play that full A with a rest stroke on the 1st string, and then hit the 3rd string to 2nd fret. Okay, and measure 6 is identical. Strum, 2, oh, 3, strum. Okay, so let's play measure 5 slow. 5 and 6, we'll play them slow, then we'll go back and play them fast. Okay, ready, play. Beautiful. Let's go back and play from measure 1 from the beginning through measure 6. We'll play a little slower in the beginning, and then we'll try to get measures 5 and 6 up to speed. Okay, from the very top of the song, ready, play. I missed that 3 again. Guess what I need to be working on at home this week? Okay, getting that 3 into the correct position. Okay, last 2 measures, measures 7 and 8. We're going to hit strum, 2, strum, strum, 2, strum. Okay, sounds again. We're going to let that guitar do all this beautiful ringing. Those are really beautiful tones. All right, we're going to play the whole song, top to bottom. We'll play through it twice so that we've done that, and then we're going to move on to the next song. Okay, From the top, putting everything together, we're playing chord melody from Tough Axe line. 1, 2, ready, play. Let the guitar ring. Don't let up on your chord. When you're sick of listening to it, slide your palm up from the bridge, and that stops the music. Okay, so that's the basic idea behind fingerstyle guitar. We're going to start with the melody. In this case, we started with the chords. We're going to add the chords and the melody together and create a situation where you can play all of it at once. Today, all I'm doing is thumb down, but if you decide, yep, I want to make things harder for me, you will switch then to the claw, and you would play it as. And that would be using this claw shape, and this is what all the classical guitar players use and what most advanced guitar players do. They're going to switch over to this shape to do a lot of their work. It's a very different feeling, very much more plucky feeling than when you're doing this thumb down strum or when you're doing an index finger type strum. You'll end up doing both, get good at all of this stuff so that you can really get yourself to a position where you dominate the guitar. All right, I'm going to change my paperwork here. We're going to move on to level 2. By the way, if you have questions, don't hesitate to drop me an email. My email address is on denverguitarorchestra.com's website. It's all over everywhere. So please drop me an email. It's absolutely fine. I want to just find a way for all of us to keep playing music through this weird time in our world. And, what else am I going to be doing? So, all right, let's go to Ain't Gonna Rain No Mo. This is a level 2 song. In my program, in the Denver Guitar Orchestra program, we have level 1 is all 1-chord songs. So there's 4 chords or 4 songs in there that we play in various different ways. Just getting comfortable, not just making a chord and then learning to read the sheet music and learning to make a melody. Level 2, the idea is I'm going to start putting in chord pairs. One of the things that most of us have to learn in the beginning is, gosh darn it, what do these chords look like and how do they go together and how do I get from one to the other and so on. And so level 2, we really focus in on chord pairs, getting everybody where they can play from one chord to the next. The third, and then of course, level 2, we continue that process of reading tablature and getting positional playing down. And then all of the tough acts or chord melody, fingerstyle arrangements in level 2 are actually much easier than level 1 because you're using multiple chords sliding you up and down the neck. And the songs are quite a bit better in level 2 than level 1. And of course, by the time you get to level 3, there's really legitimate, nice music there for you. Okay. All right. We're going to play Ain't Gonna Rain No More. First thing we're going to do is play with singing and strumming. Okay. You're going to be going from D chord. Remember, make your D chord. It looks like this. Sorry for hitting the microphone. Index finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, middle finger on the bottom string, 2nd fret, and then your ring finger reaches out here. Now, for some of you, this is super uncomfortable when you first encounter this chord. Please know it's uncomfortable for a lot of people in the beginning. please don't flip this over and have your middle finger on top, index finger, and ring finger like that. That is not what you want. That is not going to work out for you long term. So you've got to get your index, middle, and ring finger just like that. Okay. Again, nice straight wrist, guitar in proper positioning. Now that's our main chord. Then with the chord that we have to get to from here is called A7. Don't overthink it. Index finger goes up one string, middle finger goes up one string, you lose the ring finger. Okay. To get back, index finger goes down one string, middle finger goes down one string, ring finger comes back. Okay. When we are working on getting our chord changes in place, what we have a tendency to do is strum, 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 and then take 10 minutes to change a chord, strum, strum, strum. That's not the smart way to learn how to do your chords. What you really want to do is very carefully and mindfully think, here's where a D looks like, here's where I got to get to, here's how I got to get back. Almost in every case, chasing your index finger around to get to the proper chord at the proper time is the way to do that. So in other words, if I put my D chord on, index finger goes down first, and then the other two fingers will learn to obey. When I do my A7, I'm going to put my index finger down, and then the other two fingers, well, this one knows to do nothing, and the other one will obey. Okay, let's get your chords on. We're going to sing through. Sorry about my singing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it ain't gonna rain. So how in the heck can I wash my neck if it ain't gonna rain no more? Well, then a long game of train rolling down the track. Do peanut butter. And then we would repeat. Okay, again, playing the song doesn't matter. Getting from D chord to A7 chord is what matters. And you'll notice in measure 7 and in measure 15, I added in a real A chord. That's another activity to practice, going from A7 to this A chord, from getting from here to here. Okay, it's just another thing that's fun to work on. If you decide I'm not ready to work on that, just play A7s right straight through there, and it'll sound fine. Bob, welcome. Old Man Jones here. Bob, you're a spring chicken. How many strings are you strumming these chords? So on the A chord, on the D chord, you really want to just use the bottom 4 strings, okay? Because this is a D string, so D sounds best on the bottom 4. And when you go to A, you really want to stick to those 5. Because I'm not a big strummer, I have a tendency to stick down here because this is the safe zone. But obviously, you'll get a bigger sound the more depth you get into your strings here. So probably more strings is better than less strings when you're strumming. The one caveat to that is on the D chord, you definitely don't want to hit this E string because it sounds terrible. So if you do happen to hit it, there's only one real solution to that. Reach up, get your thumb to stop it, and then get your thumb back where it goes. But just don't hit it in the first place, and that's going to sound better. Let's see. Alan asked, does the sound go bad fairly frequently, or is it just my computer? Everybody on the planet is on the internet right now, Alan, so I don't think it's you. I don't think it's me. I think it's just the internet getting swallowed up by all of this stuff. Yeah, I think, Bob, Bob, I think you're right. Just the way it is right now. None of us knew that we were going to be living virtually, and so I'm not positive that it's probably not you. It's probably a combination of just everybody being on the internet. All right, D chord, A7. That's gonna come up in your life, okay? Get where you can do that pretty effectively. Again, chase your index finger. Next thing is let's play the melody. Again, positional playing. Twos you play with your middle finger. Threes you play with your ring finger. Zeros, as I'm looking through the melody, there is nothing else on there except 2s and 3s. So even your index finger is going to be of no service to you right now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, oh, 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 2, 2, 2, oh, oh. Wait, hold on. I'm playing the wrong song. Wow, totally blew it. I was just playing what I thought sounded good. Let me start from the beginning. I apologize. Let's go from the top. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2. 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, oh, oh, 3, 3, 3, oh, 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 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, oh, 2, 3, hold it, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2. 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, oh, 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 3, 3, 3, oh, 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 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, oh, 2, 3, 3, and then you would repeat. Okay. Remember, when you do that repeat the second time through, you're going to skip measure 16 and go to measure 17 and 18. All right. Again, we typically don't play straight line melody unless we're playing a duet. So you could invite your friend over. Any of your friends who play guitar, they're going to know how to make a D chord and they're going to know how to make an A7 chord. They are not probably going to know how to finger pick a melody, and so that'll be your job. Go through and learn how to do play positionally. It's relatively straightforward, and you're gonna be the hero of your guitar group, being able to play melody. Lead guitarists play melody. Rhythm guitarists play the chords, and the lead guitarist is the guy who makes all the money. So that's who you want to be. Get good at playing this. Now, the other thing that I should mention is on the website, all of these songs have an MP3 over in the widget, which is off to the upper right-hand side, or if you're on your phone, it's down toward the bottom, where you can listen to the song, make sure you understand what's going on in that song. Or in fact, on the Denver Guitar Orchestra, I think the widget's right dead square on the top of the sheet music page. So go listen to the song always before you start playing it, so you have a pretty good idea how it goes. All right, last piece to put together then would be the chord melody. We're going to take time to go walk through the whole thing. This is the fingerstyle part. This is the part that people want to be able to play, and only you are going to know how to do it, and you're going to sound amazing. Okay, we start on these simpler songs to get your skill set in place, and then by level 3, we're playing real music. It's going to sound great. You're going to be the best player in your group. Okay. 2 and 2 so what I do is I always start with the chord, grab the chord. Now I notice right off the bat I'm going to have to modify that D chord to get the 2 2s in. So I'm pulling my ring finger back to get the 2 2s. So let's do those. 2 2. Now I'm going to reassemble my D chord. Give it a little bit of strum. Make sure your thumb is resting on string 1 since you don't want to play that. Hit the 2 3s. 3 3. Go back to your D chord. Strum 3. Strum 3 2. You're already holding that 2 down. So by holding that D chord, you've been able to play everything so far with very little motion. Okay, measure 3. Strum. Hit 2 more 3s. 3 3. Pull your ring finger back to get the 2 2. Slide it forward. 3. And then at measure 4, you're going to grab your A7 and strum down. Let that ring plenty of times. Amateur players, we're always short the long notes, and so just make sure you give it 3 full beats. And you're going to strum it again. You either add your pinky on the 3 or the ring on the 3. In this case, whichever is more comfortable for you. Grab measure 5. Strum 3 3. Lose whatever you're using to get that 3. Strum. Hit the 2 zeros. Oh, oh. You're going to do a partial A chord here. Make sure your thumb stops at the rests on string 1. Go to 2. Now we have to make a change here because I got 2s on the 3rd string, but I'm holding that open right now. So that's where I'm probably going to just drop my index finger to get these next 2s. 2, 2, 2. And then I got to go back to a regular A chord. Ain't gonna chord on? No. And then a measure 8, go to a D chord. More, 2, oh. Those two, that 2 and the 0 there are purely decorative. They're just there for fun. Makes it sound pretty in fingerstyle. And most every time when we have a long note, a half note, dotted half notes and whole notes, we're going to fill that in with just pretty stuff, generally out of the chord. Okay. All right. So then we halfway through measure 8, we start with those 2s again. I'm going to slide my D chord back into one group. 2, 2, put it back down the D chord. Strum 3, strum 3, 3, strum 3, 2, 2, strum 3, 2, 3. Grab the A7, strum. Oh, oh, grab the 3, strum. 3, 3, strum. Oh, oh. Partial strum with a rest stroke. 2, 2, 2. I'm sorry, I measured 15. It's a little bit of a strum. Strum, strum, strum. Add your ring finger. Strum. And then a nice D chord to wrap it up. Strum. 3. So butter. That's how that's ending up. Let's play the whole song together. If this is a lot, right? If you're like, well, I get the idea, but I can't do it yet, that's perfectly normal. You're going to work on that today, getting where you can do the thumb down or plucking your way all the way through it. If it's a lot right now, just grab the chords and strum along with us, right? If that's too easy for you, then try playing the melody along with us, right? I'm going to play through the tough line, and then we're going to move on to the next song. We're going really fast today, guys. And so at some point, hopefully I'm just like at the level where you're like, that's a little bit of stuff I need to work on. Okay. From the top, we're going to play it through twice. We're going to follow the repeat there at 16 and send you back to measure 1. The second time you come through, skip measure 16 and play 17 to the end. 1, 2, 3. Ring. Don't take your chord off until you decide you've had enough, and then stop the strings. Okay, so not the greatest song in the world, but really good skill set. You got your Ds, you got your A7s, you've got some thumb down you can do. For those of you that are at that level and you're like, nah, that's not exciting enough for me, go through and put your claw on and pick your way through that, choosing your strings wisely. If you've got 4 fingers and 5 strings, usually you drop out one of the middle strings and play the upper and lower ends of that. Okay, so that's how you would bring in your claw. Whew. All right. That was super fast. Obviously, that's a lot. So we're going to go on to one more song. And we're going to go even faster on that song to wrap up today. Hopefully, this is giving you some stuff to work on at home. If this is not challenging enough for you, good for you. If it's too challenging for you, work on the easier stuff and get solid on the basic toolbox first before you're trying to tackle the harder stuff. What I know from most most guitar players is that you want to play super fancy stuff. You'd love to be able to play Bohemian Rhapsody, and you want to do that way before you ever have Three Blind Mice knocked out as a skill set. And so probably ought to let's build that toolbox first, and then you'll be able to play anything. Then you won't care about playing Bohemian Rhapsody because you'll already be on to Carcassi and Soar and the Bach lute suites and all that stuff, right? You won't care about pop music anymore because you'll be wanting to play this ultra high level stuff. All right, last song today is All Through the Night. Now, important note just from those of you who are involved in the program, All Through the Night is a level 3 song, but I moved it to book number 1 as a stretch piece for those people who got it in level 1 and they're like, all right, Farmer in the Dell isn't really getting it done for me. This, in my mind, is an absolutely gorgeous song. It's beautiful melody. If you learn the first 4 measures, the next 4 measures are identical, and those 2 sets are identical to the last 4 measures. So you really only going to learn the first 4 measures and measures 9 through 12, and all guitar players that I spend time with, frankly, all ukulele players as well, to memorize. And so you can sing it without a lot of risk of them singing along with you. And if you play it with all of your full skill set, it will end up sounding like you really know what you're doing. Not that hard of a song. You will look nice D chord, level players, E chord. Okay, you can hit all 6 strings on an E chord. Okay. Index finger, I always chase that, make sure I get that on the 3rd string, because otherwise, if it's on the 2nd string, it turns out to be an A minor, right? We get that there, drop those 2 guys on, they behave really beautifully. That's what you're looking for. Okay, E chord. Okay, we've already dug into A chord, again, all 3 in a row. Make sure your index finger hits that 4th string, and then the other guys will just behave. Okay, and then the last chord from level 1, the ever popular G chord. Okay. Middle finger on top, index finger fret 2 of the 5th string, and then your ring finger way down there. All right, those of you from folk style, yeah, I know what you're already thinking. My guitar teacher taught me this one. Okay, middle, ring, pinky. Okay, that leaves this finger open so that when it comes time to make your C chord, you're all set, and then you can do your fakey F chord, and everybody's just happy as a clam, right? So that is perfectly fine. Do that one if that makes you happy. I don't like that one because I don't like it. I just don't like it. Okay, I like this one. The main reason I like this one is I can then also add on my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then just put my pinky there. Now I have a really beautiful chord. And it just really pops as a G chord. I love that chord. Okay, that's the 4 chords. Let's run through and sing just the first line of this. The words get sadder and sadder as you go along in this song. It's a lullaby, but they get pretty sad in the 3rd verse. All right. I'm going to, instead of strumming 4, I'm going to pluck 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a great way to get started with the claw position, is just grabbing 4 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure when you're grabbing this particular arrangement, your thumb is on whatever you choose as the top string, and then your index finger follows on the next string underneath it, then your middle finger, and finally your ring finger. You want them to be at this steep of an angle so that when you collapse your knuckles, they don't run into one another. Okay, so we're talking. That's it. I was using a D chord. You could hear how crummy it sounds with that 6th string hanging around in there. Okay, I'm just going to pluck all the way through it. See if you will do that with me. Elizabeth is saying I'm frozen, but the indicator thinks I'm still connected. So let's hope I am. Hopefully you guys are seeing me. Hope. All right. From the top, 1, 2, ready, play. Sleep, my child, and peace attend thee all through the night. 2, 3, 4. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber sleeping. That's a fermato over that last note in there. Let it ring for a while and then go. Keeping all through the night. 2, 3, 4. Okay, let it ring. All right, so those are your chords. Shouldn't be too much of a trouble for you if you are on level 3. Let's run through the melody. Again, positional playing, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have a moment when we got to go to 5th position to get the 5s and 7s, and then we're going to go right back into position 1. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2, 2, 0, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 2, 3, 2, 0, 3, 2, 0, 3, 2. Let it ring and then go. 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2, 2, 0, 2, 2, 3. Let it ring. You play it again. Don't play 16 the last time you come through. Now, one of the things I noticed in switching up to 5th position is that my 7th was really easy to get to, right? What I have a tendency to do, especially if you play other instruments like ukulele, we have a tendency to reach our pinky finger up there to get these higher notes. You're not going to get away with that on guitar. So play in your 1st position. When you see a 5 coming up, move up to 5th position, and you're going to be much more effective. And then it's very convenient to drop back down into your 1st position and grab that 3 on your way down. Okay, there's the melody. Last thing, guys, we're going to run through the tough acts. Again, I'm going to thumb my way through it because I think it's pretty, but you can go through on your own today and practice grabbing it as a claw. From the top, 1, 2, ready, play. repeat the whole song. Okay. Again, something beautiful to help you work on. Alan L, measure 2. What is, yeah. So I don't have it written out very well for you, but in measure 6, you start with that E chord, right? Now the tablature says 0 and then 1 0 0. So if I was plucking it, I would just do that. But as I'm thumbing it down, I'm going ahead and adding in the full E chord there. And so there's that, and then I take my pinky finger to add to a 3. Now, Alan, you're probably playing on baritone, and that is what you would probably do is just make your E chord just like you normally do, and then either use your ring or your pinky to grab the 3. Right? So all of those are perfectly fine solutions to that. You can play exactly what's written there, but it's really an E chord with your pinky up on 3. That's what's going on in that measure right there. Measure 6, measure 2, and measure 14. It shows up in all of those places. So it's an E chord with your pinky. That's what's going on there to get that 3. That's part of the melody. Okay. Last thing to talk about, guys, and this for those of you who are at that level, right? If you're like, yep, I basically got the tough uke figured out. I can make beautiful music that way. Arpeggio picking, right? You're going to be playing any chance that you see to put in some of this on your longer notes. That's what you're going to want to do as a fingerstyle player. I know every single more advanced guitarist that I watch play, whenever there's got a moment, they're just hanging on the chord and adding stuff in here. And the way you practice that is I wrote out arpeggios for you, but you don't necessarily have to do what I wrote out. What you can do, just grab the chords and start practicing your picking. Okay, so on this song, I'm going to just play the chords, right, just like I would in folk style guitar, but I'm going to do this as my strum pattern. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sleep, my child, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are sleeping hill, and fell in slumber sleeping. I messed up all of your timing on that, I'm aware. In my loving vigil keeping all so clearly I haven't been practicing that part of the song, but you get the basic idea. That's what we want to do as advanced guitar players, is get so comfy with your arpeggio picking over here that you can put this hand on autopilot and really stay focused in on what's going on down here. And so every time you play a song, go back through it again and look at the chords and just sing through it with this. I know you're a terrible singer, just like I am a terrible singer. That's why you're studying fingerstyle, but close the door. Don't scare the cat. That's a whole hour. That's enough. I hope you guys learned something. I'll leave the chat box open just for a minute. And if any of you guys have any last minute questions, the lag on the internet right now is pretty shocking. So if there's any questions, I'll wait just a second while you are loading those questions up. If you don't have any questions, then I'm Teacher of the Year, and good for me. But do take time to go over to denverguitarorchestra.com. I'm going to try to do a guitar lesson every single day until they let us out of lockdown. I'm going to try to be as clear and as consistent as I can about giving you good resources, going over all of the songs in this level. Again, songs are meaningless. It doesn't matter what songs you play. It matters what techniques we use to play guitar. And I am certainly not the greatest guitarist of all time, as you have figured out, but I am pretty good at helping you get better. And so please let me know what I can do to be of assistance to you. My email is all over that website, so toss me that. And it was really delightful. I know several of you that are here, and a few of you who I don't have any idea who you are. I'm glad that you are being patient and putting up with me. It's a great instrument. It's a great program, great way to play the guitar. It's how adults want to play. We want to play beautifully, and we want to not sing for the most part. So Please, yeah, Gary should start practicing singing. I've read 2 books on how to sing. That shows you how committed I am to sounding less horrible. Yes, practice, practice, practice. Bob Stott is absolutely correct. Is spend a little time practicing. I could have spent a little bit more time practicing all through the night, and so you saw what happened. You're welcome, Elizabeth. Delighted you could join us. Um, I will go practicing. Monica, really, really delightful that you're here. Hey, Monica, it's not humbling. You are working your brains out. I know you're doing a really, really lovely job on everything. Playing as a group, very challenging. Playing on your own, let yourself, be your best. Be your number one fan. If you don't love what you're doing, then you're messing up, right? Guitar players have big egos on purpose, right? We need to believe we're number one. So, Monica, you're number one. Alan, Bob, everybody else, you're all number one. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow about the same time. And I will post the recap of this on YouTube. So if you want to go back and look at any of the previous lessons, you can. I'm going to end the stream. Have a lovely day. Thanks for joining.